Hey guys, welcome to Deep South. Today I'm in here trying to get some of the weeds out of my high tunnel. And when I'm in the high tunnel, I really like to be able to listen to some music or something in here. And I do have my cell phone. But Danny and I are starting to collect all kinds of things that will work if there's no power. And so I had a company contact me about a crank radio. Now we do have a couple of crank radios, and I thought with the new property and stuff like that, I'd like another one to take over there and leave at all times. So I got this cute little crank radio. It works off solar. So if I'm outside, like I've been the last week, sitting outside staining boards, I can use this and it'll stay charged because of the solar. It also, on the bottom, has a USB port, and it has this cable where you can charge it on by USB. It also has the crank handle where you can sit and do this, and you can sit and crank and crank and crank, and it doesn't take but about 10 or 12, 15 winds, and it'll last for an hour, 2, 3, something like that, and you wind it again. Danny and I have one over at the cabin, and it's really cool because it lasted sometimes a day with us listening to it. It has the AM, FM, and weather band. It also has an antenna, a light if you need a flashlight, and okay, hold your ears. A warning in case you need help somewhere. You can turn that on, and for a while it'll last a while, and you can always crank it, you know. But it has an AM, FM, and a weather band. So because of YouTube's regulations, I'm not going to be doing the radio because it would probably play a song that YouTube would not approve of. So I'm going to do the weather band music, and I can sit in here and turn it on, and I can take it back out and charge it with the solar, or take it in the house and charge it, whichever way you want to do. And or you can sit and crank it 3 ways. If you'd like one of these little radios, let me know how you would use a radio like this. What would it do to keep you company? Just let me know in below. I'm going to be pulling weeds, y'all. I'm going to bring you in, like Miss Lippy says, I'm going to bring you in close where you can see what I'm doing, and show you that even in a high tunnel like this, we get weeds. You can't tell what's supposed to be what. If you don't know, you'll pull every bit of this out. But you see my peppercorns? They're coming back. Even some of this is not dead. Some of it is and some of it isn't, but I'm going to let it come back out before I trim. You see my lavender over there? We're not taking that out either. And look, this is that moss rose or rose moss or whatever. Makes beautiful flowers in here. But this stuff just takes over. I don't know what this is, but the chickens play around and eat on it, and they're okay with it. It puts on little teeny yellow flowers. You can see it's trying to bloom. We're going to take that out. This stuff here, the chickens love nibbling on that. You see the flowers? They'll eat on any of this. So I've got to come through and be very careful and pull all this out and get it back to where I just have my rose here, because this will bloom before long. And I need all this out because you can see when you start pulling it out, those purple vines is the moss rose. This makes kind of like a carpet, this type of weed does, and that's what makes it bad, because it's hard to pull it out and not get your other stuff because it mats up so bad. You can see it's just coming out from around my rose. So you have to hand weed in high tunnels. There's no two ways about it. And once you get all this out, it'll take it a while to come back because there's going to be some roots because we used dirt from our property. And I've got to get all this out here. Today we're going to take in this cabbage here. It's getting to where it's going to want to bolt. But you see all the weeds here. I'm going to be working on those. Here with the tomatoes, you see all these weeds? They just come up in here, and these are the easier weeds to get. You can just grab them like this. Most of the dirt shakes off. And again, the chickens love playing in this. You can just shake all the dirt off. Comes out nice and pretty. I've got tomatoes and blooms going along in here. These things have just went crazy. It's gotten warm the last few days. There's one of my baby tomatoes. There's a bigger tomato off in there. Tomatoes down here. We had 5 or 6 tomatoes from Danny's greenhouse last night. They were delicious. I'm excited. I love having early tomatoes, and these are the plants that were just almost burnt, and you see they've come back out. This peppercorn is doing great in here. This one is coming back out. Y'all see? These are just beautiful. These daisies are always pretty in here. I've got to get in here and get a few things out here. It is blooming. I can't wait. If it doesn't freeze it this weekend, this aloe vera is blooming. I can't wait. And this, look how good it's looking. And look at these, the English peas. They're already a foot tall there. About 8 to 10 inches most places, a foot tall there. They're just going crazy. And they're looking really good all the way down. Nice English peas. Boy, the onions, look at this. They really need cleaning out of. So I've got to come in here. I'm going to be in here a while, so I'm going to turn my radio on and get busy so I can get all this cleaned. The mint came back out, but you see on this side more weeds, more of my cabbages. The radishes are doing okay. I don't know if I'm going to get any. It's going to be close. We're going to see. The beans, a few are still popping out, but I've got my beans out. We're going to replant. The tomatoes are already a jungle. It's February, Valentine's Day, in fact. And one of the tomatoes I got out of Danny's greenhouse last night looked like a heart. So we had a heart tomato. But aren't these pretty to see in February? The ginger's already coming out. The wild lettuce is like crazy, but there again, some weeds. So I've got ginger popping up everywhere. And my strawberries. I managed to pick one in here the other day and eat, but these are not quite there. They're getting there, and they're blooming. So we've got a few strawberries here. My cucumbers are doing really good. I'm hoping they will continue, even though it's supposed to get cold over the next couple of days. It'll be warm enough in here for them to be it won't kill them, and they'll continue to grow, and I'll have early cucumbers. I still have some of my potatoes that are out and looking pretty good. About half or better of my potatoes did not come back out, but I will take whatever potatoes do. I'm anxious to see how many they actually make. And the curly leaf kale just keeps giving. This stuff is so good, and it's good fresh or sauteed down. And look how pretty. Throw a few carrots and saute some stuff down. Oh my goodness, onion. I pepper, you good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and pull more weeds and just keep pulling weeds and getting all these weeds out here. Turn my radio on, and if you guys would like a little hand crank or solar powered radio, AM FM weatherband with a flashlight and a warning system, let me know. How would it help you? Thank you guys from Deep South Homestead.